So next up on our agenda, we have a presentation submitted by Amos Barkai from OLSPS. Amos is not available to attend, so our good friend Ali here is going to be up again and representing Amos with a presentation on mobile electronic reporting and recording applications for artisanal and commercial fisheries applications. So once again, here's Ali.
Thank you, everybody. So now I'm up with a different hat on. I'm up with an OLSPS hat on. But that's okay. We work closely with Amos. I've known him for a long time, and when he couldn't make it, I offered to do his presentations for him. So I've got a couple to do, but the first one we're looking at today is the new mobile dynamic data logger that's been produced by OLSPS. So we're going to talk through some of the key advantages of that. So OLSPS itself was founded by Dr. Amos Barkai and Mike Berg in 1989, based in Cape Town, but also have offices in Lisbon. And they have partners around the globe, UK, USA, Canada, so they do have a full global reach. And they do data analytics, not just for marine, but for business, but today, obviously, we're going to look at the marine side of it. And they're currently on hundreds of vessels around the world, and they have two solutions. So you can see that on the my right, here we have the vessel side. So this is what's known as the DDL, so that's the dynamic data logger. That collects all sorts of data, which we'll go through today, sends the data in real time through to the DDM, which is the shore base. That collates all the data there, which is then used for your compliance reporting, scientific management, commercial usage, and marketing. And then that can send back data such as logistics, where your fishing activities have been. So it's a really sort of interactive solution that you can use to enhance your fishing. So it's been used for years around the world by fishers, but primarily up until now it's been on a laptop. You've got to have had a laptop or a computer on board to be able to run the solution. And you can still send it via SBD, but obviously you're looking at power solutions, you're looking at space, you're looking at screen, which isn't available to all vessels. So what they've done now is they've developed the mobile data logger, so taken all the power of the DDL and put it into the MDDL. And so today we're just going to go through some of the capabilities of this mobile data logger. So this is the screen, and you can see it's a really simple, easy-to-use screen. It's really nicely laid out, and one of the things that OLRAC do is go for visuals rather than for text. Obviously, when you're at sea, you can be in a real hurry to do things, so using visuals is far quicker, it's far easier, and it makes it more universal. Anybody can look at a picture and see exactly what they're looking at there. So it divides each fishing trip into unique fishing operations, so you can have your sets, and on those sets you then get your catch and effort data is recorded in real time. And we can adapt that to suit the customer's needs as well. So we bring in your own your fish species, we may bring in fishing areas, we can bring in geo zones as well. So it becomes a really sort of intuitive, easy-to-use solution and manages all your scientific data in there. One of the other key things is there's validation all the way through. So each of those boxes that you can see, and as you'll see as we go through, are set with limits. So you can't put in that you've caught a 100-ton single fish, because it will say, no, you've put that in wrong. So all the way through, there's steps to stop you putting in incorrect data. And then once you've collected your data and you send it off, that can either go, depending on where you are, cell or Wi-Fi, if you've got cell or Wi-Fi connections, or it can go using Iridium SBD, for example. It's been designed for Iridium SBD, which is used by lots of VMS, including the Pinpoint Earth solar VMS, if anyone wants to come and look at that later as well. And you'll see here then, this is now we're looking at the catch information. So we bring in all the catch information. We can have retained catch, and we can also do discards in there. So we can have the complete system. Although here you're just seeing the name. When we actually transmit the data, we put in the scientific name or the code for that individual area as well. So we make it suit to each fishery that it's designed for. And yeah, that then gets sent up to the DDM. But we don't just look for fishing data. As I said earlier, everything we do is about trying to give advantages to the fishermen and the fishing companies. So as well as the catch data, we also collect the environmental data. And again, you can see it's broken down into images, so it's really quick and easy. But we can have wind speed, wind direction, moon phase, cloud cover, cloud type. And then you can see at the end there when we submit it, we do that. Now, that submission isn't for the regulators. That submission is for the fishermen or the fishing companies themselves. And what we then do with that data is, say you're going out in April, you're catching flounder, the moon phase is last quarter, your cloud cover is at 6/8, and the sea surface temperature is this. Because you've been collecting all that data, the system will then say, well, in conditions similar to this in February in the last few years, this is where you've had your best CPUE. So the fishermen get direct data about where to go and collect it. Now, I know a lot of old fishermen have this data in their heads, but it's much better to get it down into a system that can be shared by everybody. And the DDM then actually sends those maps back to the vessels so they can go and really fish in the areas that they're meant to. So it also offers vessel tracking, so it can track and record the fishing vessel's movements. So it does, that's either using the internal GPS or it can have an external GPS on there as well. And that can be used on an app by the fisheries manager as well, that he can just log into his app and see exactly where the fishing vessels are and their activities at any time. And you can see they can also just jump in and see all the reports so they can see the catch data there as well. So as I say, the data collected goes into the DDM, but not only that, we can share that with any third-party database as well. And once it's all stored, we visualize it. You can see all the fisheries management tools we get here. So it becomes a really comprehensive tool that's used by fishing companies or fisheries resources managements to be able to manage their fisheries, manage where the vessels are going. That cuts down on fuel usage, that cuts down on time at sea, so actually it increases their profit margins as well. And using that data collected, you'll see another presentation I've got tomorrow, we actually use that data to minimize bycatch as well, because we can collate the bycatch from various different vessels, and we can send out maps of where the bycatch are being caught to all the vessels involved in that program, so they know to try to avoid those areas as well. So it's the tool to collect the data is a really powerful tool, which, as I say, we'll talk about a lot more tomorrow. And finally, this is the team at OLSPS. So I'd just like you to, this is Amos in the middle with the cap on, sitting down. I'm sure many of you know him and his team there. A really diverse team based in South Africa. And yeah, I'd like to thank them for giving me the opportunity to present on their behalf. Thank you.